Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Movie Goodness, where we examine life through cinema here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by apologizing. Because I'm coming off as hypocrite. I'm coming off as a liar here because I made a vow. eh, in November, December, whatever, that I wasn't going to talk about this current presidential administration. I wasn't going to discuss it because it's really nothing to discuss. It's a bunch of foolishness. It's a clown show. It's like going to Barnum and Bailey. It's truly a circus. What's going on there, and I knew it was going to happen. And quite honestly, I wasn't upset. I'm not upset by the results of the election. It was just the mere fact that I lost faith in humanity. I wasn't mad at Trump, and I'm not mad at Trump. I've grown past that. I was mad at him the first term. This time, I'm mad at the people that voted for him. And mad's a strong word. I would say strongly disappointed with him. And it's to the point I lost faith in humanity. Like, how? How can anybody fix their finger to press a button in a voting booth for this buffoon and be proud of it? Stick your chest out, and be proud of the fact that you voted for this moron. Well, I said, forget it. Whatever happens, happens. And it's been kind of, dare I say, funny in a way, even though I feel bad for people who are losing their jobs and, being laid off and whatnot, and losing services that were provided by the federal government throughout all of these years, that they really needed. Now, I know there is abuse, and I know that abuse needs to be addressed, but, cutting the head off of everything is not the answer. But that's besides the point. The point is, I don't feel sorry for a lot of them. It's a case by case basis with me. It's not it's not like, oh, good for you, but when I look at those who were so strong to support Donald Trump and all of his rhetoric that he spewed during the campaign, and we get to this point where all of these jobs are being lost, and some of the jobs that are being lost are from MAGA people, and they're mad. And to see them be upset and be disappointed and regret voting for Trump, all I can think about is, what did you think was going to happen? What were you listening to during this campaign? I don't understand. I don't understand why you're upset. It's not the fact that it happened. I'm confused and baffled by people's disbelief of these events. It's like, oh my God, how could he do this? He said he was going to do this. It's one thing I could say, and I told a friend of mine a while back when we were talking about it. For the most part, he told the truth. And, now he told some lies. Let's not get it twisted. He told a lot of lies, but for the most part, he actually told the truth. He said he was going to cut jobs. He did it. He said he was going to deport people. He did it. All this stuff he did. And so when people turn around and get upset because he actually did that, were you not listening? Were you not paying attention? It's mind-boggling. But that's besides the point. The point, or the subject of today's episode, is Donald Trump versus Elon Musk. And I just could not talk about it. I couldn't just not indulge in this cat fight that's taking place between these two billionaires or whatever. Well, I don't think Trump's a billionaire. I think that's all a lie. But these two rich folks who are at odds with one another, even though Elon Musk was one of Trump's biggest supporters, or I should say Trump's biggest supporter financially. He backed him from day one, which is odd because Elon Musk, up to this point, has been a stone cold Democrat. He supported Hillary Clinton. He supported Barack Obama. He even supported Joe Biden against Donald Trump in the previous election. But for some strange reason, he flipped. He flipped and went with Donald Trump. Now, that's his right. That's his right. And, I'm not tripping on that. But he was all in with Donald Trump, up to the point to where Trump appointed him as a senior, not a senior, but a special senior advisor to the president. He signed an executive order so he can be part of the cabinet, so to speak, in a consulting role, if you will. But through conversations between Elon Musk and Trump, they formed this new department in the government, DOGE, or Department of Government Efficiency. And the concept of it emerged in August of last year. And Trump committed to giving Elon Musk this advisory role, with Musk accepting that offer. And so in November of last year, after the election, or at least the results of the election where Trump won, Musk suggested that the organization could help to cut the federal budget and consolidate a number of federal agencies within the government, as well as eliminating the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, whatever that is. And so in January, on one of the darkest days in American history, they sworn in Trump, and he made it official by signing this executive order for the organization to be formed. And Musk was designed as a special government employee. And so Elon Musk is leading this organization as the senior advisor to the president, although his official role was never made clear. And so in sworn statements during a lawsuit, the director of the White House Office of Administration stated that Elon Musk is not an employee of the United States DOGE Service or U.S. DOGE Service Temporary Organization, however you want to title the thing. And he also made the statement that Elon Musk has no active or formal authority to make government decisions himself. He was just there as a consultant, so to speak. And so Trump said 2 days later that he had put Elon Musk in charge of DOGE. A federal judge had ruled that Elon Musk acts as a de facto leader of DOGE. So Elon Musk's role in the second administration of Trump, particularly in response of DOGE, has attracted public backlash, of course, because why? What prompted this decision? And so he was criticized for his treatment of federal government employees, including his influence over the mass layoffs of federal workforce. I know a good friend of mine, his wife works for the federal government, and they got emails. They were getting emails where they had to answer questions, what they do and how long they worked there and blah, blah, blah. And they had to send this to DOGE. And it was just random, I guess you could say. They were going to pick who was going to stay, who was going to go. Luckily, thankfully, my friend's wife, she still has her job, but there were some who weren't so lucky and they lost their job. Yeah, it was pretty sad. Elon Musk, he prioritized secrecy within the organization and has accused others of violating these privacy laws that the organization had. A Senate report alleged that Elon Musk could avoid up to $2 billion with a B billion dollars in legal liability as a result of DOGE actions. In May of this year, Bill Gates, a fellow billionaire himself, accused Elon Musk of killing the world's poorest children through his cuts to U.S. a ID. And the list goes on and on with stuff that he did as the head of this government organization. But this is where business starts to pick up. In May, at least about a week or so ago, May the 28th, he announced that he would depart the Trump administration as planned when the special government employees 130-day deadline expired. With a White House official confirming that Elon Musk's offboarding from the Trump administration was already underway. His departure was officially confirmed during a joint Oval Office press conference with Trump on May the 30th. After leaving office, Elon Musk criticized the Trump administration's big, beautiful bill, calling it a disgusting abomination due to its provisions increasing the deficit, which is a shock to absolutely no one except for Elon Musk. I don't know how he didn't know that Trump and his actions were going to increase the deficit. Is increasing the deficit from the moment he got there with all of those executive orders. But whatever. But from that point, that's when it got juicy. That's when it got soap opera-ish, or WWE-ish, if you believe it or not. A feud began, and I mean a flat-out feud with the United States president and a former, I guess you could say, government official or a billionaire, whatever the case may be. It don't matter who it was, but a Twitter war, but with the U.S. president. You can't make this stuff up. This is why initially I was upset that Trump got reelected, but then cooler heads prevailed. And then I thought about all of the entertainment that was in store for the American people, let alone the world, with this fool getting into office yet again. Because it is a clown show, man. It is unbelievable. But we're going to go through some of the things that have been said in the midst of this feud that is kind of, you got to question if you are the Senate committee that reviews all this stuff, the watchdog groups or whatever the case may be. This is stuff you need to pay attention to, because this is a guy, whether he's just saying it out of spite or because he's butthurt, whatever the case may be, you still have to look into this stuff, because it sounds like there's some validity there. And if you're outside of the MAGA cult and you don't have your head firmly up your behind, you can kind of believe the stuff that's being said by Elon Musk. Even though you didn't need him to say some of these things, you basically knew it. He just said it out loud. And so let's go over some of the things that have been said throughout this last 72 hours, at least the time of this recording. I'm pretty sure more stuff is going to come out after I finish this episode that's going to make me mad. And like, man, I should have waited, but I had to talk about it. But this is what has happened over the last 72 hours since the breakup, if you will. And speaking of the breakup, yes, I do have a film to review. And since these two bosom buddies are going their separate ways, the film we're going to review today is the 2003 film, The Breakup. And it's still in with a big breakup between the two lead characters, Vince Vaughn, who is a MAGA guy, ironically enough, and Jennifer Aniston. I don't know, I was blanking. But that'll be our film at the end of this episode that we will review. So on to this feud. In a lot of these notes that I'm getting is courtesy of CNN.com. And so I wanted to give them their credit, because I couldn't sit there and go through all of these articles, you know. And they all pretty much saying the same, but CNN is the one I settled on. In an intense public feud erupted this week between President Donald Trump and his one-time ally, the billionaire Elon Musk, with an argument about Trump's massive tax and domestic policy bill raging across social media and in the Oval Office. Tensions began rising on Tuesday when Elon Musk blasted what Trump called his big beautiful bill as a disgusting abomination, surprising Republican leaders, believe it or not. But the billionaire escalated the fight on Thursday when he began sharing years old comments from Trump and other Republican lawmakers raising concerns about U.S. government spending and the deficit. Throughout Thursday and Friday morning, Trump and other prominent figures from the president and the billionaires' circles joined in. Trump even rose the idea of terminating contracts the government holds with Elon Musk's companies. So he went as far as to say he was going to terminate his contract, government contracts, with Musk. The dispute signals just how much and how quickly the relationship between Trump and the world's richest man has broke down because of disagreement over a bill. Elon Musk was, up until recently, a staunch supporter of the president and a prominent figure in the White House over the last few months. In an event honoring Elon Musk's exit from government work last week, Elon Musk said he would remain a friend and an advisor to the Trump administration. Oh boy, how things change overnight, because here's a timeline of the first 72 hours of this feud. Elon Musk, he had posted this massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. This is what he threw up on Twitter, or X, which he owns, by the way. He tweeted that out on June the 3rd. On June the 4th, Elon Musk claims the budget bill would defeat all of the cost-saving achievements created by Doge. So he took it personal. You know, he was like, well, this is counterproductive than what I have done over the last 6 months or whatever. And so Trump posted an image on his Truth platform, his social media platform, because he isn't allowed on Twitter anymore. But anyways, he posted that Elon Musk post announcement he was leaving the government, and the post goes as this: as my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President Trump for his opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. The Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government. That was posted on X by Elon Musk on May the 28th. So this was kind of retweeted by Trump on his social media platform, and I guess in a way to say you're being a hypocrite or whatever. I don't know, or putting them in check. I don't know, but yeah, he fired back with that. So on June the 5th, Elon Musk felt the need, okay, since we are reposting stuff, Elon Musk shared posts claiming majority of Republican voters want the budget bill trimmed down, adding yes to the post. One Republican said that the majority of Republican voters strongly disagree with Elon and want the bill trimmed down. Elon Musk left the Democratic Party and sacrificed much in his relentlessly supported the GOP. The GOP leadership should give his counsel serious consideration, and Elon Musk replied with yes. He went on to repost something from Donald Trump about a half hour after that post. He shared old Trump posts criticizing Republican lawmakers for raising the debt ceiling, adding wise words to the response. Donald Trump said in a post, I can't believe the Republicans are extending the debt ceiling. I am a Republican and I am embarrassed. And that's where Elon Musk replied, "Rise words." And so he went on again to repost something else from Donald Trump. When Donald Trump said, "No member of Congress should be eligible for re-election if our country's budget is not balanced. Deficits not allowed." And Elon Musk replied, "I cannot agree more." And for once, I actually agree with Donald Trump. This has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican, whatever. This has to do with you've been in office. They have congressmen and senators and representatives who've been in office as long as I can remember and have done nothing. They have done absolutely nothing. It's time for them to go. You haven't done nothing. And if the debt keep rising, I can't do nothing but point at you. If you work at McDonald's and you work in the back, doing the fries, and people are constantly complaining about the fries being cold or the fries being burnt or the fries don't have any salt and whatever. There's always an issue with the fries. Guess what they're going to do to the fry guy? He's going to be fired. They're going to let him go because he's not doing his job right. He's not doing his job efficiently. Now, that's the cuts you make. You don't make cuts to people who are actually doing their jobs, but that's neither here nor there. But after that post, Trump confirmed the deterioration, if you will, of his relationship with Elon Musk, and he said that he's very disappointed in Elon Musk after he repeatedly blasted the president's sweeping domestic agenda bill. The president, he was quoted by saying, "Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore." Trump tells reporters in the Oval Office less than a week after the two exchanged praise on Elon Musk's last day as a special government employee. After that statement was released, Elon, he took to Twitter again. He kept going, bashing the bill yet again. Then he followed it up with another post saying, whatever, keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. Trump fired back by saying, "I'm very disappointed with Elon. I've helped him a lot. He knew the inner workings of the bill better than anybody sitting in here. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden, he has a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out we're going to cut EV mandate." And in case you don't know what EV mandate is, and I had to look it up just to be fair and honest with you all. But the EV mandate refers to a government rule or policy that requires a certain percentage of new vehicles sold to be electric vehicles or EVs, typically by a specific date. These mandates are often driven by environmental goals such as reducing greenhouse gas emissions and improving air quality. And of course, this will kind of upset Elon Musk because he owns Tesla. What are Tesla's? Electric vehicles. So yes, that is going to upset him quite a bit. But it's like the old saying, it's all fun and games till the rabbit got the gun. And so now you sitting there looking, everybody that you cut and jobs laid off and all this other stuff. Now you in that same line. You just lucky enough to be a billionaire. You'll be all right. You just can't make billions more. But that's neither here nor there. Elon Musk responded to this by saying, "False. The bill was never shown to me even once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could have read it." But he went further and he went deeper. Elon Musk said that without him, Trump would have lost the election. This was the tweet that he put out. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Democrats would control the House, and Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Uh, in a follow up to that, Elon Musk said, such ingratitude. Then, then Elon Musk, he posted a video, and we all seen this video. It was the commercial, I guess you could, or the sales pitch, in front of the White House, where Donald Trump was boosting up Tesla. You had all the rows of Tesla cars or trucks, those ugly cyber trucks that I see so many of now on the street. But that's neither here nor there. They had them lined up in front of the White House, and it was basically an infomercial for Tesla. And so Elon Musk, we tweeted the video of this promotion and titled it, "Remember This, Donald Trump." But he posted a few more tweets about the EV mandate and how it affects not just him, but the environment and whatnot. And I get that, all of that. But then he went on to claim that this new bill, this big, beautiful bill, will increase the U.S. deficit to 2.5 trillion with a T dollars. I don't know if that's actual or factual or whatever the case may be, but that is troubling. $2.5 trillion. Wow. And that's adding to what the deficit already is. That's crazy to me. Even if he's off by a trillion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how can you dispute that? Because you throwing out a wild number like that, you got to be pretty close. Even if you're off by a trillion, and that's wild to say, that's still a lot, But he put a poll up on X, asking the American people, do we need a new political party? And out of 5.6 million people voted on this poll, 80% said yes. And if I would have seen the poll, I would have voted too. I would have said yes as well. But number one, just full disclosure, I'm a registered independent, so I don't follow none of those parties because they're both full of it. I just don't like none of them, man. It's all a game, and if you create another one, it's going to be the same thing. Politics are politics. Government is government. Nothing is going to, it doesn't matter who's in office. It's always going to be foolishness. It was foolishness when Biden was there. It's foolishness with Trump. It was foolishness when Obama was there. It's always going to be foolishness. It's because it's politics. That's the name of the game. So that won't really solve the problem. But what will start to solve the problem is to get these old politicians out of office. You don't have to necessarily have a new party, but you have to revamp the party that you have and get some fresh young blood in there that can do something, actually invoke change, and actually have term limits. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. I feel like a politician myself doing that. But anyway, let's get back to this one. Trump, not Trump, but Elon, he shared the video of him in 2021 claiming Tesla doesn't rely on EV subsidies. So this doesn't affect Tesla, according to Elon Musk. So that's not his reasoning. And so he did post the video. I did watch the video, and he said this back in 2021 that doesn't affect him. And so the reasoning for, or at least the reason that Trump gave why he's upset about it, is not accurate, at least according to that. Now, a lot can change in 4 years, but we can only go by the words that come out of his mouth, and you take that with a grain of salt. Now, this went on for a while with this EV debate stuff, with Elon Musk just posting, I guess you could say fact check tweets, from other congressmen and so on and so forth, political analysts and all this here. This went on for a while, and Trump didn't respond. But after about an hour, Trump finally responded. I'm telling y'all, man, this was like the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef of last year, man. It was waiting on another track to drop. You just waiting on the Not Like Us to hit. But anywho's, Trump did respond when he claimed he asked Trump to leave the administration and took away his EV mandate, after which he alleged Elon Musk just went crazy. This is what he put on his Truth platform on the 5th of June. And he went on to kind of double down on it, I guess, when he posted that the U.S. government could save billions of dollars on his budget by terminating the contract and subsidies awarded to Elon Musk companies. And so there was that. And so with now that you talking about hitting the pockets, Elon Musk responded. He refuted Trump's claim that his disagreement over the big beautiful bill was related to EVs once again. And so they went back and forth with that. Elon Musk claimed Trump is in. Now this is where it gets juicy. Elon Musk claimed that Trump is in the Jeffrey Epstein files. This was the tweet. Time to drop a real big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. So he dropped the mic on him on that one. And then he came back, picked it back up again. Follow up. Elon Musk, he posted that the truth will come out. And he said, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. And this prompted Kanye West, who's a supporter of both of these fools, him being a fool himself. He decided to take to Twitter and and was like the little kid, when mom and dad are fighting and the little kid come in and like, no, mommy, stop. Well, no, daddy, stop. Try to get between mommy and daddy as they arguing or fighting. This is what Kanye West did. This was his tweet. Bros, please, no, we love you both so much. I want to know, who is we? Is this the French we, or I don't know what is he talking about, because that's not accurate. Nobody likes you anymore, Kanye. But Trump went ahead. He had another track to drop. He on Truth. His post was, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut on expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase, and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. That's in all caps. This puts our country on the path of greatness. Make America great again. Elon went on to post he threatened to decommission the SpaceX Dragon space craft that returned the NASA astronauts from the International Space Station. I don't know what that had to do with anything, but he also posted that he agreed with one of the users on Twitter calling for Trump's impeachment, and then the stocks plummeted on Tesla that same day, 14%. It plummeted 14%, erasing about $150 billion off of the company's market value. My God. My God. Was it worth it? I know he's a billionaire, but $150 $1 billion is a lot of money, man. I mean, my God, just give me 1 billion, and I'm happy. 1 billion, I'm thinking I'm Scrooge McDuck, man, out swimming in money. Uh, how you lose $150 billion? Why? Because you disagree with this clown. Elon Musk claimed that the tariffs, Trump's tariffs, will cause a recession, which is kind of ridiculous to me because you were there for all that and you didn't utter a word. You didn't say nothing. But now it's a problem. This is the thing that I'm talking about when I was talking about at the beginning of this show. That no, don't talk bad about it now when you could have said something. Now I ain't saying that he could have put a stop to it, but he could have spoke out against it. But now is the issue because a user on Twitter had asked the question: can you finally say that Trump's tariffs are super stupid? And Elon Musk's response was the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. And so you knew this. You knew this. I knew this, and anybody who knew anything about tariffs knew this. To be honest with you, I don't think it's the second half of the year. We're in a recession now, right now, because of these tariffs. Ridiculous, man. The whole thing was ridiculous. And Elon Musk, he shared another video showing Trump at a party with Jeffrey Epstein, along with an eyebrow raising emoji. So that video was from 1992 that he posted on X, which is kind of hilarious. I mean, it ain't hilarious because we all know what happened at Jeffrey Epstein parties, just like what happened at Diddy parties, which Donald Trump also participated in, but whatever. Elon Musk showed support for a post by billionaire inventor Bill Ackman that urges Musk and Trump to make peace. Ackman said in his post, I support Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and they should make peace for the benefit of our great country. We are much stronger together than apart. And Elon Musk responded by saying, not wrong. But he only came out and said they need to make peace after after the videos of Trump at these Epstein little girl parties came out. But it is what it is. The press secretary called Elon Musk claimed that President Trump is in the Epstein files, an unfortunate episode. In a statement this just past Thursday, and the statement reads, this is an unfortunate episode from Elon, who is unhappy with the one big beautiful bill because it does not include the politics he wanted. The president is focused on passing this historic piece of legislation in making our country great again, said in a statement to CNN from the press secretary. Elon Musk walks back his threats of decommissioning the SpaceX spacecraft, which takes NASA astronauts and cargo to the International Space Station. He did walk that back. Elon Musk said that if America goes broke, nothing else matters, while sharing a clip from an interview he did in February talking about the country's national debt. This past Friday, June the 6th, Elon Musk company stock for Tesla in Germany, their stock exchange, they rose. They rose 4.7%. The stocks did after nosediving by more than 14% in both New York and Frankfurt in Germany just the previous day. So it was back up, trending upward on Friday. It did later on Friday morning. Trump told CNN that he's not even thinking about Elon Musk and won't be speaking to him in the near future. In the statement, he said, I'm not even thinking about Elon. He's got a problem. The poor guy got a problem, end quote. And that was the final thing, at least at the time of this recording, to have transpired from this beef between Elon Musk and President Donald Trump. This is so stupid to me, you know, because they both look like hypocrites. Well, not so much Trump. To be honest with you, Trump don't look like a hypocrite in my eyes, because, like I said, I fully expected this from Trump. It's the one, it's Elon Musk who's the hypocrite, who's the idiot, who I don't know what he thought was going to come out of this relationship, out of this partnership, but you get what you pay for, man. This is the dude that you laid with. You lay down with dogs, you're gonna wake up with fleas. That's one of them old goodies there. Old good sayings from the old folk that I'm currently adapting, because I'm now an old folk myself. But yeah, man, you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas, and that's what Elon Musk has scratching and burrowing into his skin right now. It isn't like Elon Musk was ever a Boy Scout. Elon Musk has some foolishness with him throughout his life, man. He's always been wrapped up in some type of controversy, you know. Just remember the Nazi salute thing that he did for Trump, and you know, the numerous comments that were taken to be controversial throughout his career and stuff like that. He's got some foolishness with him. Plus, he got like 14 kids with 10 different baby mamas or something like that. The dude is like, he's just a weirdo, man. And now I know that they, or at least he said it. I don't know if it's true or not, but he said he has Asperger's. Now that doesn't excuse you for being an idiot, you know. Just because you're on the spectrum, don't give you the excuse to do or say or act the way you want. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Either way, they're both a bunch of morons. Both of them. And this was a match made in heaven. Months ago, me and my boy, we were talking about this. I'm like, bro, this is not going to end well. And we both, it's like we said it at the same time. You're like, this ain't going to end well. You have two narcissists, and you know, teaming up together. That's not going to work. That's like that other old expression. I'm doing a lot of old expressions today, but that's like that other old expression. Two women can't be in the kitchen at the same time. It won't work. It's the same thing here. You know, two narcissists cannot be a quote unquote leader at the same time. And so this is the end result of that. Now, I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over by a long shot. Especially if money starts playing a role in this situation. It's already starting to, with the stocks falling and whatnot, affecting Elon Musk and his companies. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. You know, that's why he hurried up and backtracked the SpaceX program and whatnot, you know, because that's money. You know, and so there's going to be some more mudslinging to take place between these two. But speaking of mudslinging, let's go into our review for today's episode, and it is the 2006 romantic comedy starring Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston, The Breakup. And this film is about a couple's breakup proceeds to get uglier and nastier by the moment as each try to keep their lavish condo from one another. This was directed by Peyton Reed, and Peyton Reed went on to make the Ant-Man films for Marvel, all three Ant-Man films for Marvel. And 2006, this was pretty much peak Vince Vaughn, when he was at his peak, man, when he was really churning out these romantic comedy or comedy films. You know, around this time you had Wedding Crashers, you know, you had Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Dodgeball, Starchy and Hutch. You know, he was popping up for Christmases and all that stuff. He was at his peak around this time, It was a good little, I would say 5 6 year time span where he was just knocking them out the park. We were getting a Vince Vaughn film almost every year, and they were decent. None of them blew my socks off, and that includes the breakup. The breakup, it was fine. You know, it's a fine film. The most I can say about the movie, it's inconsistent. As far as the tone, I don't know if it was a drama or a romantic comedy. It's nothing. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel uplifting. And when you go see a romantic comedy, I expect to be uplifted. If it was going to be a drama, if it was promoted as a drama, I probably would have accepted it more. A drama with some laughs. That makes sense. But if you get a comedy with some drama, it doesn't match. And this film is like that. It's structured like that, and it's not a good structure. It's oil and water, in my humble opinion. And now, what did work in the film was the chemistry between Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston. I thought they had some really good chemistry in this film. I think they were friends off screen, if I'm not mistaken, around this time. I think this was around the time. I could be wrong, but I think this was around the time Jennifer Aniston had just broke up with Brad Pitt, with that Angelina Jolie stuff going on, and they had just broke up, and I think her and Vince Vaughn were dating in real life, if I remember back then. I'm getting old. This was 20 years ago or 19 years ago. I can barely remember 19 minutes ago, so bear with me. But yeah, I know they were associates or friends, and you could tell in the film that they had a friendship with one another, and the chemistry worked, especially if you compare the chemistry between Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, and what's the one they starred in there, Four Christmases. Zero chemistry. I mean, zero chemistry between those two. It was so bad. I did not like that movie. And so in comparisons, I would say, yeah, this is way better. But neither one of them are the greatest thing on earth. And sadly, this movie is not in the upper echelons of romantic comedies. This was kind of a dead period for romantic comedies, and we haven't gotten a good romantic comedy in years. It's actually quite sad because that was one of my favorite genres of film. Romantic comedy. But anywho's, yeah, the film, it had the potential to be downright hilarious. You had this couple, they break up, and they have this nice apartment or condo, and neither one of them want to let it go. So they decide that they're broken up, but we're still gonna live in this condo together, while Jennifer Aniston is still going out on dates and having the dates come pick her up from there and stuff like that, and Vince Vaughn just wanting to lay around the house and all this. It was set up to be something actually quite good. It just didn't deliver, and it's very unfortunate and disappointing. I wish it would have been better. That's all I can say about the breakup. I wish it could have been better. The breakup from 2006 gets a letter grade of a C minus. Yeah, it had its moments, but that's it. It just had moments. Nothing more. Just like we have moments with this feud between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. This is sad, bro. This is where we at as a country. Don't you? I gotta ask those in MAGA. I'll ask Vince Vaughn. He's a MAGA. Do you enjoy this? I mean, is this what you signed up for? This reality show, this soap opera that is the Trump administration. I mean, you're supposed to be governing the country. This ain't governing the country. I mean, people are not gonna like you. That's just in any walk of life, especially if you're a public figure, and especially if you're the president of the United States. There has never, in what, 47 presidents, have never been a president that were universally liked. The closest thing you got was Obama. And I say closest, and, and there was I would say 50% of the country that wanted him dead. And that was the closest you're going to get to a likable president. And that's sad. But the point I'm trying to make is Donald Trump is such a little girl. Whenever he hears about somebody not liking him, he has to address it. You don't have to address it. It is what it is. You're not going to be liked by everybody. I don't like you. So I guess he'll address me too. But man, get some tough skin. Get some thicker skin, man. Especially if it's not true. That's the thing. If it's not true, what people are saying about you. If Elon Musk is throwing out all these accusations or saying this, saying that, you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to reply. Let the truth tell it. Let the truth come out. But what makes me realize that you're lying, that you're covering something up, you have to hurry up and respond. You got, oh no, that's not true. Oh no, that's not how it's going. And now you're talking bad about the guy, but just a week ago, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's just stupid, man. This whole administration is dumb. But I would like to know your thoughts about this feud. Do you find it funny, or do you find it just downright sad, like I do? I would love to know your thoughts. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com, or contact the show on social media. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Don't forget to subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to movie goodness here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me as we discussed this rap battle, this hip-hop cipher between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.